Hey everyone, What If Fan here, bringing you another exciting part of What If transmigrated into One Piece and became a Marine. You can find the fanfic title and the original author's name on my Patreon page. Make sure to check it out and show them some love. If you enjoy the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you never miss an upload. Also check out my Patreon channel for early releases of all the series, where you can find all the series released one day ahead of YouTube. Alright, let's jump into it. Chapter 231, Fishman Island in Jinbe. As soon as Blaze returned to headquarters, Sengoku asked him to visit Fishman Island and invite Jinbe to fight Whitebeard. Knowing the relationship between Jinbe and Whitebeard, Sengoku wanted him to go and invite Jinbe personally. If the other party rejects the summon, his warlord status will be voided. After coating the ship at Sabaody, Blaze and his unit went down the sea to reach Fishman Island, located 10,000 meters underwater. The Fishman Island looked the same as he visited nearly 10 years back. But to Kuina, Regis, and other Marines, it's their first time visiting this place. They marveled at the magnificence of Fishman Island and the underwater scenery, especially the sunlight tree eve that illuminated the entire island. Entering via the doorway, they docked the ship at the port area reserved for surface people. As Blaze got down from the ship, he was surprised to see Jinbe and some royal guards lined up in an orderly manner to welcome him. Unlike Blaze, Regis, Kuina, and other Marines were embarrassed by such a royal welcome. Vice Admiral Blaze, welcome to Fishman Island. I was surprised when I was informed of your arrival. Jinbe politely cupped his fists and greeted him. My. I didn't expect you would come and welcome me personally, Jinbe. Blaze smiled. Fishman Island looks better than before. It certainly has your part. Queen Otoheim reformed many things and made it a better place for everyone to live. Jinbe replied. It's nostalgic. How's Queen Otoheim and King Neptune? Blaze asked. They are good. Jinbe replied and spoke after a pause. If not for your warning about Hody Jones, we would have lost Queen Otoheim-sama. He's an extreme man with a twisted personality, hiding his hatred of humans. He planned to assassinate Otoheim-sama just because she wanted to bring the fishmen to the surface and live among the humans. Thankfully, Jinbe heeded Blaze's advice and kept a close watch on Hody Jones. When the other party showed signs of revolt, they swiftly took action and imprisoned him. Chatting, they reached the Ryugu Palace. King Neptune and Queen Otoheim waited at the doorway of Ryugu Palace to receive him. Inside, a sumptuous feast's prepared for them. Understanding Blaze's appetite and his love for food, they even prepared extra. Let's dine as we speak. King Neptune led him to the grand table. Without showing any reservation, Blaze accepted Neptune's offer and sat at the royal table loaded with different kinds of food. Some of the delicacies here are native to Fishman Island, you won't find them anywhere in the world. Don't be reserved, have your fill. Blaze ordered his unit to enjoy. As his voice fell, the Marines under his command began to feast on the food while the clinking of silverware began to resound in the grand banquet hall of the Ryugu Palace. Your name resounds throughout the world, Jamon. Neptune praised Blaze. It's been more than 10 years, he still remembers meeting Blaze first time. After so long, the latter has grown into a tall tree. Even on Fishman Island, people began to learn about Blaze's reputation from the pirates who used this passageway to reach the New World. Blaze simply smiled at the praise and asked Queen Otoheim. Queen Otoheim, how's your process in migrating the fishmen to the surface, are you still on it? Well, it's as you foretold. I think it's best to wait for the change. Queen Otoheim answered with a smile, but Blaze could sense the sadness in her tone. It seems like something unexpected happened. Blaze thought and didn't dwell on it. Well, it's time I talk about the business as I came here for an official matter. Blaze spoke and looked at Jinbe. Jinbe, as warlord of the sea, you are officially summoned to fight a certain pirate group by the order of the world government and Marines, Blaze stated. Which pirate group? Jinbe asked with a bad premonition. Whitebeard pirates. Blaze answered calmly. What? Jinbe stood to his feet while King Riku and Queen Otoheim were shocked by the revelation. Fishman Island is at peace because of Whitebeard.
Only after Whitebeard took the island under his wing, the pirates and other forces refrained from making a ruckus here.
You aren't joking, Blaisdano?
King Neptune asked with a heavy heart.
I'm afraid not. Recently, Fire Fist Ace is captured by the Marines. Blaze threw another shocker. What? Ace-san was captured? Jinbe was stunned by the news. How did it happen?
He knew what these words meant.
War. With Whitebeard's personality, how would he let something happen to his precious son? Clenching his fist, Jinbe growled. The world government and Marines want to deal with old man Whitebeard? Yes. And the Marines are going to execute Ace publicly. Whitebeard will definitely come. Blaze said with certainty. What should I do, Blaze-san? I am extremely grateful for that man. I can't go against him.
Jinbe's countenance tangled with emotions.
King Neptune and Queen Otoheim looked at each other with bitterness. They don't know what to do. Blaze waited silently for the reply. After a minute of silence and pondering, Jinbe showed a resolute face. I'm sorry, Vice Admiral Blaze. I'm rejecting the summon. Saying this, Jinbe extended his hand, wanting to be arrested. He knew as soon as he rejected the offer, his status as Shichibukai's voided.
Marines won't let him roam free anymore.
If it's someone else, he would have resisted, but against Blaze, Jinbe won't do it. He was grateful to Vice Admiral Blaze and won't forget the kindness shown by the other party. What are you doing, Jinbe? I didn't say I'm going to arrest you. Blaze waved his hand and said. But? Don't worry about it. I like your personality and character, so I say this, nothing will happen to Whitebeard and Ace. Blaze assured. But I may need your help. Yes. In a few days, a certain event will happen in Sabaody.
And the core of the commotion will be Straw Hat Pirates, captained by Monkey D. Luffy.
He's Ace's brother. Meet him, then everything will follow. Blaze said. Why are you doing this, Blaze-san? Jinbe asked. He doesn't understand why he helps Whitebeard pirates. Don't misunderstand. I'm not helping Whitebeard pirates. I'm using the war to my advantage to realize my ambition. Blaze expressed his true thoughts, which baffled Jinbe, but he didn't ask any further.
Don't worry, King Neptune, Queen Otoheim, even if something happens to Whitebeard, nothing will happen to Fishman Island with me here.
Blaze assured them, noticing their concern. Okay, it's time I take my leave. I have some other matters to attend. Blaze bid his farewell and walked out of the Ryugu Palace along with his unit. Chapter 232, Shirahoshi.
Just as Blaze came out of the Ryugu Palace, Otoheim's 3 sons were seen chasing her daughter, who was swimming towards them.
Sister, wait. Don't run on your own. Blaze too noticed the beautiful, giant-sized mermaid.
Shirahoshi, the mermaid princess and the current incarnation of the ancient weapon Poseidon.
Shirahoshi, my child, why did you come out? King Neptune asked in a nervous tone. He didn't want anything to happen to his daughter.
It's not safe to come out of the hard-shell tower.
You know that, right? Otoheim gently spoke to her.
But, Mother-sama, I want to meet the savior who saved you from the assassination.
I heard he came to Fishman Island today.
Shirahoshi mustered her courage before replying.
Oh, she's the rumored mermaid princess. Regis's eyes glowed in splendor while Kuina smacked him in the back of his head with her scabbard. She's huge but extremely beautiful.
The Marine soldiers communicated in a hushed voice. Unlike in the original work, Shirahoshi wasn't that much of a crybaby, but it seemed like it didn't change her personality as he noticed the blush marks on her cheeks due to her shyness.
You must be Blaze-sama that Jinbe-sama mentioned? Thank you.
Shirahoshi thanked Blaze in a sweet voice.
Don't worry about it. Blaze waved his hand and asked Neptune even though he knew the answer. And, why can't she come out of the room? It's because of a certain sea pirate named Vander Decken.
King Neptune gritted his teeth at the mere mention of his name. He set his sights on marrying Shirahoshi and marked her with his devil fruit power. He began to bother her with letters and hurls various weapons every day. Due to the constant threat of Vanderdecken, Shirahoshi grew up inside an impregnable tower. King Neptune knew his daughter wanted to visit the outside world for a long time, but he couldn't even fulfill the wish as a father.
What a failure I am! Can't you guys catch him with your strength? Blaze asked. That man is too cunning.
His whereabouts are unknown and he has a lot of people under his command. He knew the underwater sea as the back of his hand.
Jinbi responded.
He's been searching that scum for some time, but that bastard is slippery. At that moment, Blaze's observation hockey perceived a weapon flying towards them from a distance. As he was standing before Shirahoshi, it was coming straight at him. Kuina, who was next to Blaze, gripped the hilt of her sword, ready to draw and slash the weapon away. But Blaze stopped her and took action himself.
It was quick.
In no time, everyone noticed the flying weapon.
Before they could react, the weapon went for Shirahoshi's neck.
With a slight force on his feet, Blaze leaped and grabbed the spinning weapon with ease. It surprised many people as they knew how powerful the thrown weapons were. King Neptune once asked a guard to try and stop them, but the guard was decapitated by the thrown sword. After that, no one tried to stop it. The throw is slightly powerful, but do you have to be so afraid of this?
Blaze mumbled, but it was audible enough for everyone to hear. He was indirectly saying, "You guys are weak." They felt like someone slapped them in the face. Spreading his heat sense along with Nen, Blaze began to perceive the heat signature of every single being in the range. Some fishmen living inside the water were able to evade his perception. As his heat sense extended past Fishman Island, he spotted Vanderdecken and his crew in the distance. Thankfully, they aren't too far.
Blaze then looked at King Neptune and Queen Otoheim.
Don't worry about Decken, I will take care of him.
Since you gave your word, it means Shirahoshi doesn't have to be locked up anymore, Jaman. King Neptune laughed from his heart while Queen Otoheim, Jinbi, and other fishmen expressed their joy. Princess Shirahoshi can finally be free from that man's curse.
Minister of the Right shed tears of joy. Queen Otoheim lovingly caressed her daughter's striped tail. As for Shirahoshi, she blanked. I don't have to be locked up anymore. Can I roam the Fishman Island again like I used to when I was a child? Let's go. Blaze then left the Fishman Island along with his unit. Blaze-san, are we chasing that man named Vanderdecken?
I want to kill him for locking up such an innocent girl for so long.
Kuina asked. No need.
He's just a small character, we don't have to waste time on him.
Blaze shook his head and gripped the double-sided axe thrown by the Decken.
It torched in bluish-white flames.
Stepping close to the ship rail, Blaze pinpointed Deccan's heat signature and drew back his right arm to the limit.
Further imbuing his hockey into the weapon, he flung it with his entire strength. The marine ship sailing underwater shuddered for a moment due to the intense force behind the throw before stabilizing. Swish! At lightning speed, the weapon disappeared from everyone's view before they could react.
What the F*******? Regis cursed in his mind.
He could tell Blaze had become stronger again.
Let's go. Without caring about the disappeared weapon, Blaze ordered his unit to return to the surface. If the timing isn't wrong, Luffy should have landed on Sabaody.
Everyone in Blaze's unit is accustomed to his dominating strength and mind-blowing powers that can't be judged by common sense.
Some distance away,
Vanderdecken and his crew of flying pirates could be seen chatting and laughing on board the legendary ship, Flying Dutchman.
Shirahoshi should have got my love-printed present by now. Is she happy with the present? Decken mind wandered. Suddenly, everyone noticed friction in the water.
As turned their head to look, they found a blur in the distance, and before they could react it closed the gap.
The next moment, something hacked Deccan's daydreaming head and cleaved his head above the mustache while blood sprayed from leftover brain tissues. Ari, what just happened? Decken-sama.
They shouted as Deccan's body fell to the floor, lifeless. Only then did they see the rose-printed axe stuck firmly on the ship's wall, behind where Deccan stood seconds before. From the axe, a bluish flame began to slowly spread, burning the Flying Dutchman. Seeing the scene, the flying pirates fled the ship, crying and weeping over their captain's death.
Sabaody. At the same moment, the Straw Hat Pirates' Thousand Sunny finally reached the Sabaody archipelago as Blaze guessed. Chapter 233. Admiral Kazara shows off his power. After a few hours, Blaze's marine ship emerged from the sea and docked at Sabaody near the mangrove marked with the number 52. As Blaze stepped down from the ship, his hockey perceived the commotion. Even the ship docked next to them quickly left the port as if fleeing Sabaody. It's bad. We all are in danger. We need to leave this damn place as soon as possible. What happened? Straw Hat Luffy punched Celestial Dragon in the face. Kid and Law are there too. Marines already surrounded the island. That Straw Hat bastard? What was he thinking? Fuck the worst generation. The Marine Admiral will come. Let's get out of here. Listening to the conversation around him, Blaze smiled. It looks like we aren't late. He doesn't want to miss Kizaru's chic scene of traveling by cannonball. Kuina, Regis, let's go. We can't miss the excitement. After informing the rest of the unit to stay put, they rushed toward Groove 27, where Kizaru would land. Kuina, what's with your friend's pirate group? I think they aren't right in their head. Everything they do is earth-shattering. Regis complained. He's not my friend but my rival. Kuina replied candidly. Your rival? That kid? Regis scoffed. With your current strength, I doubt that kid would survive a single move. Chatting, they reached Grove 27 and landed on a building that had a good view of the entire port area. At that moment, a marine warship appeared on the horizon, causing a panic. It fired off a round of cannonballs at the pirates trying to flee from Sabaody. Upon closer look, one would find a person standing on top of the fired cannonball. What a timing! Blaze watched the chic scene of Kizaru's arrival and remarked. I have to try that when I have free time. Behind him, Regis and Kuina also admitted it's a classic entry worthy of praise, but hearing Blaze's words they rolled their eyes. Boom! The cannonball lands amidst the pirates, triggering a frightening explosion, killing 2 pirates. As smoke and dust cleared, Kizaru's figure was revealed among the pirates. Upon seeing Kizaru, the pirates scrambled in all directions. Oh, this is Kizaru. I've arrived. Please respond. Kizaru announced his arrival through the black Den Mushi on his wrist, requesting a response. Seeing this scene, Regis gave an exaggerated reaction by facepalming. What is Admiral Kizaru doing? That black Den Mushi is used to eavesdrop. Isn't it fun to watch? After that, the events unfolded as happened in the original series. Under the pretext of finding Sentamaru, Kizaru fired a laser beam at 2 weak pirates, but strangely it missed and leveled a mangrove marked 27. Is Admiral Kizaru showing off his power or trying to destroy Sabaody? I don't understand what's he thinking. Regis complained. Next, Kizaru found Basil Hawkins and played with him for a bit before asking the classic line, have you been kicked at the speed of light, and delivered a high-speed kick? Look at him, enjoying his time. Blaze laughed hard, watching Kizaru's wretched look and dragging actions. Regis and Kuina were dumbfounded by Admiral Kizaru's actions and more so by Blaze's enjoyment. What happened to Blaze-san? How would they know? It's kind of fun to watch the scenes you see in anime play in real life. What's the warlord Bartholomew Kuma doing here? No. It's not him. Is it Pacifista developed by Vegapunk? Regis noticed a Kuma-looking machine fighting another rookie Urage. After showing off his light power for a bit, Kizaru defeated the 4 supernovas. Hawkins, Urage, Apu, and X-Drake. After contacting Sentamaru, he decides to go after Luffy. Grove 12. After defeating the Pacifista with much struggle, Luffy and his group were exhausted with no spare strength. It was at that moment that Sentamaru gave his entrance with another Pacifista PX-1. You guys have some nerve,
it costs as much as an entire warship to build one pacifista. It's a real disgrace, PX-4. Under Centauro's command, PX-1 attacked the Straw Hats with a major blast. Luffy knew they couldn't fight in their current state, so he told, "Let's get away from here." Not together, we split up into groups. Everyone was surprised as it was the first time Luffy backed away from a fight, but they agreed with the decision.
Just as they escaped in three different directions, Sanji's group was blocked by PZ-1, Luffy's group met Centauρο, and Zoro's group encountered the scary one, Admiral Kizaru. A bean took out Zoro.
Brook and Usopp try desperately to keep Kizaru from killing Zoro, but everything proves futile since Kizaru's a Logia user. In the meantime, Kizaru's feet turned into golden light, but he dragged his attack so long that Blaze, who was watching the fight, yawned in boredom. It was as if the Admiral was waiting for someone to stop his attack. Finally, Rayleigh appeared in a flash, intervened with Kizaru's kick, and diverted the light beam.
"Let's go and meet everyone."
Saying this, Blaze's figure disappeared and appeared next to Luffy, startling him.
"Yo! Luffy, it's been a while. You have a lovely group, but it seems like they are in a bad situation."
Blaze chatted casually.
"Blaze you."
Luffy was overjoyed seeing him, but it was short-lived.
He put up a fighting posture and asked, "Did you come to catch me too?" With a flick to the forehead, Blaze commented, "A weakling like you want me to come and apprehend you personally, snort.
You should at least have the strength of a Yonko for me to take action personally."
"Ah, it hurts."
Clutching his forehead, Luffy rolled on the ground in pain.
Blaze's sudden appearance stunned Kizaru and Rayleigh, while it frightened the Straw Hat group seeing Blaze's marine cap. Another marine. They all thought. A troublesome one has come.
Rayleigh narrowed his eyes.
He's Vice Admiral Blaze.
Robin discovered his identity with a look as she worked under Crocodile for some time. Even Crocodile was deeply afraid of this man.
"What?"
Hearing Robin's comment, the rest of them reacted aside from Zoro and Chopper.
Of course, they heard of him. The strongest man in the world. "Oh, Blaze. What are you doing here?" Kizaru greeted him while scratching his head. "Well, I was a bit bored, so I came to join in the fun. Can you let the Straw Hat group go? This kid Luffy, I watched him grow up." Blaze spoke, pulling Luffy from the ground. Chapter 234, End of Sabaody Incident.
The Straw Hat group noticed Blaze seemed to know Luffy. It somewhat calmed their emotions about meeting Pacifista and the Marine Admiral.
"This bastard, why didn't he tell me he knew such a strong man?" Nami clenched her fist in anger. Everyone he knew was more terrifying than the last. Seeing the situation, Rayleigh breathed a sigh of relief. Thankfully, he didn't come for Luffy. With his old bones, stopping Kizaru was already his limit. Such an overbearing haki. Rayleigh thought. Against someone like Blaze, he won't stand a chance. The other party's haki is as vast as an ocean. I don't mind letting them go since you're the one asking. Kizaru stroked his chin, but how should we answer the celestial dragons? Marines can't lose face in front of them. Hearing Kizaru's words, Blaze narrowed his eyes.
The next moment, terrifying coercion covered the entire Sabaody, terrorizing every living being. The palpitating feeling came and went quickly, which most people brushed off as a feeling of fear because of Admiral's arrival. Only strong people like Kizaru and Rayleigh felt the intimidation. Who cares about that scumbags? If they have any qualms, let them come to me. Blaze replied. Kizaru didn't reply as he knew it was wise not to provoke Blaze. Admiral Kizaru, can you lift your leg? He's my rival, you know. Kuina spoke as she walked next to Zoro. She radiated with an aura of sharpness while her marine cape rippled without any wind. Oh, Rear Admiral Kuina. Kizaru slowly withdrew his leg and took a step back. Scary NE. Why do I have the feeling of being threatened? I think it's just a misconception on my part. Kizaru boosted himself. Regis gulped, feeling the tension in the air as he stood like a statue behind Kuina, trying not to draw any attention. This girl learned all the bad things from Blaze-san.
Kuina.
Zoro struggled to stand, but groaned in pain and crashed back, coughing up blood.
You look weak, Zoro, Kuina commented while Zoro clenched his fist. Damn.
It was at that moment PX-1 took action and opened its mouth to fire a beam at Sanji's group. Since it's a machine, it couldn't follow the situation.
Oi machine, stop the attack. Blaze informally ordered.
But PX-1 didn't listen to his command and fired the light beam. Frowning slightly, Blaze casually punched the air, but his punching action triggered a loud boom in the air. Then, a powerful, projectile-based air pocket kindled and blue energy was unleashed from his fist toward the pacifista.
Bang! Struck by Blaze's attack on the head, PX-1's head banged into nothingness.
Without its head to provide command, its lower body crashed into the ground with an audible thud.
The Straw Hats were dumbfounded, that's all. Blaze, why did you destroy them? It's too costly to build one. How am I going to answer to that bastard punk? Sentomaru shouted. It should have listened to me. Blaze spoke as if he didn't do anything wrong. That's because you don't have the authority chip.
Vegapunk should have programmed for it to listen to my command, Blaze shrugged.
Okay everyone, the party's over here. Go home, drink some milk, and have a good rest. Blaze cleared the crowd. Sentomaru, let's go, Kizaru found it troublesome. How am I going to answer the world nobles? It's not my problem, let Sengoku-san deal with it. After that, Kizaru left with Sentomaru and the Marines under his command. Kizaru no Ojiki, it seems we can't complete today's mission, Sentomaru commented, carrying the huge, two-edged axe, as tall as himself. Well, with Blaze stepping forward, I can't do anything. He isn't someone I can fight or reason with. Kizaru casually replied, as if he didn't care. Maybe because he saved Luffy and his group, Blaze didn't see Kuma coming to save the day. Blaze you, thank you. Luffy thanked him seriously. He knew without Blaze, his crew would have been either arrested or killed. Accepting Luffy's gratitude, Blaze divulged the important matter. Luffy, do you know Ace is captured by the Marines? He's going to be executed soon. What? Luffy yelled, unable to believe. He blanked. How is that possible? Fire Fist Ace is captured. The rest of the Straw Hats are stunned by the news. Capturing Fire Fist Ace means they are picking a fight with Yonko Whitebeard. Robin analyzed. Marines won't do such a nonsensical thing unless they decided to deal with Whitebeard. Being the resourceful General Snegoku wants to use this opportunity to stop the rampaging pirate era and uplift the Marines' prestige in New World. Rayleigh commented. As expected of Dark King Rayleigh? Blaze praised. I can't compare to young people like you, Rayleigh shook his head and asked, is the news really true? Though Whitebeard's old, it won't be easy to bring him down without the sacrifice of countless lives. There's a chance Marines may even fail. It's true. I just got info from a reliable source. Blackbeard defeated Ace and exchanged him for the position of Shichibukai. Shaki came from behind a groove, admitting it. In 1 or 2 days, the news will be posted in the newspaper. Luffy, who was silent for some time, clenched his fists and said firmly, everyone, I'm going to rescue Ace. I know you idiot would say this, but I agree with you on this. Nami supported his decision. Not just her, Zoro, Sanji, Usopp, Frankie, Brook, and Chopper, everyone supports him. They follow Luffy even if it's a journey to hell. Thank you, everyone. Luffy smiled and said, let's do it. Ha ha ha. Blaze laughed as if he couldn't control it. A bunch of brats who couldn't even defeat a machine wants to go against the Marines. It's so funny. You. Luffy clenched his fist as anger clouded his face. It may be bitter to hear, but it's the truth. With your current condition and strength, you guys won't stand a chance, Rayleigh added. As a Marine, I helped you enough, Luffy. And, I found you a good helper. He will contact you in 1 or 2 days. Blaze uttered. After this, you are on your own. Regis, Kuina, let's go. Saying this, Blaze's figure flashed and disappeared from the spot.
I hope the next time we meet, you won't be so weak, Zoro, Kuina spoke coldly and left with Regis.
Marine Headquarters, Marine Ford. In the Fleet Admiral's office, Sengoku ends the call with an annoyed countenance. If not for his good self-control, his anger would have destroyed the office. That brat Blaze, he's going to be the death of me. Doing whatever he wants, how am I going to respond to the world government?
After stabilizing his emotions, he called the Gorosei.
Chapter 235, Madara contacts Whitebeard. Ending the call with 5 elders, Sengoku sighed and stroked his temples in annoyance.
Thankfully, it was a crucial time for the Marines as they were making preparations for war with Whitebeard. He could feel the tension between the world government and Blaze.
Don't know when it's going to erupt.
After a minute, Sengoku picked up his Den Mushi and called Blaze.
Hello? Sengoku-san.
Blaze's voice came from the other end of the call.
Blaze, why did you stop Kazara from arresting Straw Hats? Sengoku asked in a suppressed voice, stifling his anger.
Well, Luffy's someone I know, I can't let him be captured, at least for Garp-san's sake. Don't bring him up, and I am the one who got scolded for your actions.
Sengoku roared and asked, what happened with Jinbe? Did he accept the warlord's summon? He refused. He refused? Then why didn't you arrest and bring him to Impel Down? Don't tell me you let him go free too? Sengoku lost his cool. How could I?
I tried to capture him but he escaped. As we were undersea, I couldn't use my full strength.
Blaze responded innocently. From you? Don't joke around. Sengoku berated and ended the call with a note, I need to see you at Marineford in an hour. Catcha. Shaki's rip-off bar.
A few hours had passed since Blaze and the Marines left.
Rayleigh, Shaki, and everyone from Straw Hat Pirates discussed the next course of action. Luffy, are you crazy? You want to breach into Impel Down and save Ace? Nami spoke in an angry tone.
They know about Impel Down, it's a maximum security prison for the most dangerous criminals and pirates.
It is located underwater in the middle of the calm belt. I won't recommend it. Rayleigh shook his head.
It's risky, Monkey-chan. Shaki also advised against the crazy idea.
Then, what should I do? I can't sit back and do nothing. Luffy clenched his fist. I will help you.
At that moment, a voice traveled from outside.
The next second, Jinbe arrived before everyone. You are? Luffy asked with his head tilted.
You are one of the Shichibukai, Jinbe, right?
Sanji identified the man.
Aside from Luffy and Zoro, everyone recognized him.
Are you the helper Blaze told me about? Luffy asked. Yes. I would do whatever it takes to save Ace and stop this damn war. Jinbe spoke. Good. Moby Dick. Marco, what happened?
Whitebeard asked Marco, who had come back from a short trip.
After meeting Shanks, Whitebeard felt a premonition. He figured it was a bad idea on his part to send Ace alone after Blackbeard, so he asked Marco to bring back that kid Ace. Seeing Marco come back without Ace, he knew something happened. Pops, it's terrible. Ace is captured by the Marines. Marco revealed with an unseemly countenance. What? Everyone including Whitebeard got shocked by the news.
I don't know whether it's true or not, I bought the news from the black market as I couldn't find Ace.
But I found something suspicious. A large portion of Marines are being called back to headquarters. Ace is most likely handed over to the Marines by Teach. Whitebeard analyzed. Damn that bastard Teach, I'm going to kill him when I see him. The Marines got courage. Don't they know their actions mean war? None of the chatter fell on Whitebeard's ear as he fumed in anger. At the same time, he knew Sengoku planned to deal with him and his family. But with his current health condition, can he save Ace? Clenching his fist, Whitebeard looked at the vast sea. Pops, if everything's true, we are being targeted. Marco narrowed his eyes.
At that moment, a whitebeard pirate ran from inside the ship and said, "Dad, something happened. I received word from the lookout ship that a marine ship near our territory was destroyed by someone." A voice yelled from the lookout, "Captain Marco, someone's approaching our ship, not good, it's Scarlet Demon Madara who has a bounty of 3.5 billion berries."
What? The Whitebeard pirates went on high alert. "Old man, why did he come here at such a time?" Marco asked.
Though they hadn't encountered the man in person, his various deeds spread throughout the world and speak of him. The recent one was that this guy went into Big Mom's territory, caused quite a ruckus, and attacked Big Mom and his sons.
Madara's figure hovered in midair before Moby Dick.
Unlike his usual self, he wore a red cape that had a Uchiha symbol at the back instead of his armor.
As his Sharingan took a quick look, the Whitebeard pirate gulped hard, feeling the aura of Madara.
When his eyes glanced past, they felt Death God himself staring at them.
The pressure, it's different from Conqueror's hockey. "Gulalala, you have beautiful eyes, boy, but don't show it off in front of me." Whitebeard's monstrous figure stood in front of everyone. "Boy? I may look young, but I am even older than you, Newgate,"
Madara commented casually with his arms crossed over his chest. Whitebeard squinted his eyes as the atmosphere changed.
As for Madara, he hovered in the same place with an air of arrogance around him. After a moment, Whitebeard once again laughed. "It seems like you didn't come for a fight." "Naturally. I presume you heard of the news about Ace?" Madara asked. "Yes," Whitebeard responded. "Then we need to speak alone." After Whitebeard's signal, Marco and other division commanders cleared the small fries and left the deck, leaving Madara and Whitebeard alone to discuss. "Tell me your purpose?" Whitebeard directly asked, as he didn't have time to waste. "He needs to save Ace. I came here to seek cooperation. And Blaze asked me to give this to you."
Saying this, Madara threw the vial to Whitebeard.
"Blaze? You two are on the same side. Gulalala, what a surprise." Feeling the familiar energy from the vial, Whitebeard knew it was genuine.
"Blaze said this thing can restore your physique to your prime and improve your strength.
It will last for a day,"
Madara stated as he gulped the wine prepared for him.
"What's our deal?" Whitebeard asked. "The Marines plan to execute Ace in Marineford, and you will see it in the newspaper tomorrow. Your goal is Ace, ours is the Marines. That brat wants to take over the Marines, he's crazy."
Even Whitebeard was surprised, as he knew what this meant.
"The world government won't allow it." Chapter 236, Back to Impel Down. Whitebeard decided to cooperate with Blaze and Madara. With Blaze's assurance, he's relieved and confident he can rescue Ace and retreat without losing many people on his side.
"It's better that you don't reveal our cooperation to the third person.
Not even to your sons. If the Marines know about my involvement, it will become tricky."
Madara said the facts.
"If they find his participation, the Marines lineup won't be just admirals, Garp and Sengoku. The world government will partake and send their best men." "Good. Happy cooperation." Whitebeard laughed, satisfied with the development.
"I want to see what he changes after becoming a fleet admiral."
Whitebeard wasn't afraid of being deceived, as he knew Blaze's personality well.
As someone who fought him to near death, he trusts his judgment.
After discussing the details of their cooperation, Madara left. "Oyaji, what did he come here for?" Marco asked.
"He came to warn me about Teach and Marines."
Whitebeard lied. "Teach? Oyaji, I have a bad feeling about all of this." Marco expressed his thoughts. Whitebeard too has the same worry, but he didn't show it on his face. Since the Marines decided to execute Ace publicly, it means they know about Roger. And Teach, who planned all this, can't be underestimated. He's extremely ambitious. What is his purpose? Whitebeard couldn't figure it out. "Gulalala, don't worry. I am Whitebeard. With me here, no one can do anything to our family." Whitebeard exclaimed loudly. "We will rescue Ace from the Marines." "Yeah. The Whitebeard pirates roared in confidence. Marco, make the preparations and call everyone. Whitebeard instructed. The next day. What? Firefist Ace is captured and going to be executed publicly in a week? Are the Marines crazy? They plan to fight that monster Whitebeard? The bombshell spread around every corner of the globe. It spread like wildfire. And it's a big one that shook the world. Everyone knew what this means: war. The news added more chaos to the already burning world. The young pirates who were extremely ambitious surged into the new world, eyeing Whitebeard's territory. In the meantime, the Marines didn't care about the small-time pirates. They called most of their powers to Marineford, leaving a few to defend the Marine base all over the world. As days passed, the entire world was in high tension. All eyes upon Marine headquarters. A slight mistake may destroy everything. With 2 days left for the execution. Atop the Red Line, Sengoku was having a meeting with the 5 elders inside the Room of Authority. As always, the room was ancient, noble, and imposing. It accentuated power. After a discussion, we have decided not to let Blaze participate in the war against the Whitebeard pirates. Make sure he's not in Marineford during the execution. Saint Saturn said, hunched over his walking cane. What? Without Blaze, it will be tough to win the war. There may be countless casualties. Sengoku stated. Yes, but we don't care about the casualties, only the result. You can use Vegapunk's creation for support. St. Peter said. Whitebeard is old. According to our intelligence, he's sick with his haki on the verge of fading away. The admirals are more than enough to bring him down. St. Mars said, with his hands folded behind his back. Yes. I will make sufficient preparations and try to minimize our loss. Sengoku said, preparing to leave. You have to win this war, Sengoku. The entire world's going to watch it. There can't be any mistake. Saint Warcury said. Yes, Sengoku said and left. Just in case, let Kong be on standby. That Blaze is extremely dangerous, we can't trust him. Saint Nusjiro decided, leaning on his great sword. Correct. The others agreed. With a day left on the countdown for Ace's execution, the entire Marineford was on high alert. After publicizing Ace's execution in the newspaper, the 3 admirals, the world government's greatest military powers, stayed in headquarters. Nearly 100,000 elite Marine troops gathered in headquarters while 50 Marine ships were stationed around the island, with cannons lining the coastline. The warlords of the sea, Kuma, Moria, Doflamingo, Mihawk, and Blackbeard arrived at the Marine headquarters while Jinbe and Hancock didn't accept the summon. As for Hancock, though she rejected the summon, the Marines didn't use any force. Would they dare? After all, Blaze is behind her. For some crappy reason that Whitebeard may attack Impel Down, Sengoku ordered Blaze to visit Impel Down and safeguard it for a day. Regarding Sengoku's order, Blaze didn't raise any kind of objection. He left Marineford with a smile on his face. Damn! It's definitely on purpose. The world government is shady, but I didn't expect even Sengoku-san would support it. Regis asked, Blaze-san, why did you accept it without a word? It doesn't matter since everything's under our control, Blaze replied calmly, gazing at the disappearing Marineford. Still. Regis didn't speak as Blaze waved his hand for him to be silent. They reached the Impel Down in a few hours, sailing through the Gate of Justice. This time, they're welcomed by Vice Warden Hannibal and Head Jailer Domino. Sengoku-san told me that you would stay here for 2 days. I can only arrange a nice small room for you. Once I become warden it will be different. The separate room arranged by Hannibal is good, so Blaze was satisfied. As for Regis, Kuina, and others on his unit, they can only stay on the ship. Did something happen before my arrival? Blaze asked. Yes, Vice Admiral Blaze. Yesterday, 2 people, Luffy and Jinbe, invaded the Impel Down. They caused quite a ruckus, but Chief Warden Magellan took action personally and captured them.
Jinbe was locked on the 6th floor while Straw Hat Luffy was detained in level 5, freezing hell.
Head jailer Domino explained. Oh. How did they invade Impel Down?
Blaze asked.
It seems like Luffy got into Impel Down like in the original work.
They came in through an opening where blue gorillas go and hunt Sea Kings for good. But we couldn't understand how they managed to bypass the Sea Kings of Calmbelt.
Interesting idea.
Blaze chuckled. With Jinbe's help and Rayleigh's planning, it's achievable. In the end, everything's heading in the same direction.
Fate is truly mysterious and wonderful. Don't disturb me for unnecessary things. Only inform me if anything fatal happens.
Blaze ordered.
Yes, Vice Admiral Blaze. Head jailer Domino took her leave. Chapter 237, Impel Down Riot. The next day.
Outside Impel Down, a marine fleet led by Vice Admiral Enigmo along with other 5 Vice Admirals came to bring Ace to headquarters with only a few hours left for his execution.
Magellan personally escorted Ace from the 6th floor and transferred him to Enigmo. Getting him into his custody, Enigmo ordered the marine ships to return to Marineford.
Just a few minutes after Magellan escorted Ace from level 6, the disappeared Luffy came in the hope of rescuing Ace, but he was disappointed as he was late.
Rescuing Jinbe and Crocodile, Luffy and his group made their way toward the top.
At the same time, a riot broke out in level 2 thanks to Buggy and Mr. 3. Meanwhile, a marine ship with no authorization suddenly entered Impel Down.
Blackbeard and his crew arrived using the Warlord title.
With that, everything began to progress as transpired in the original work.
Is this really the Impel Down that was said to be Hell Fortress with maximum defenses? There's a complete chaos happening.
Regis came back and reported the situation to Blaze.
Blackbeard's group entered the Impel Down, but they were poisoned by Magellan.
Right now, Magellan is confronting Luffy's group on level 1. At that moment, head jailer Domino came over.
Excuse me. Sorry to bother you, Vice Admiral Blaze, but the situation is critical. We need your help to suppress the riot. What do you want me to do? Blaze asked in a lazy manner. Chief Warden informed me he will take care of the Straw Hat Group and asks you to guard level 6, Eternal Hell. It holds insanely powerful prisoners who are major threats to the world government.
If they use this riot to escape, it will lead to serious consequences.
Domino told. Remembering Blackbeard's next action and some strong people detained in level 6, Blaze was interested. Lately, he was very bored waiting for the Summit War. Level 6, it's a good idea to pass some time. Regis, Kuina, let's go and have some fun. Laziness vanished from Blaze's face. Domino showed a puzzled expression. Level 6 criminals are just time passes for him? With Domino leading the way, they reached level 4 through a lift. Not good. Blackbeard and his group disappeared. How did they recover from Chief Warden's poison? I need to report it. Don't worry about it. Blaze waved his hand.
They soon reached level 5, freezing hell.
I like this level, it's a bit chilly. Not hot, like other levels. Let's wait here. It's the only way to go up, right? Blaze asked. Yes. The lift space was destroyed to prevent the inmates escaping from level 6. Good. Kuina. Blaze called.
Kuina waved her hand while a crystal throne materialized.
Blaze sat on the crystal chair, waiting for Blackbeard's group and prisoners like Bullet, Redfield, and other strong prisoners. After a few minutes, Blackbeard came out of level 6, Eternal Hell happily, followed by a rather clamorous bunch of lawless people. But he stood on his spot, seeing Blaze. With an apathetic expression, Blaze stood up from the chair and stretched his shoulder a little. I was waiting for you, Blackbeard. You took your time. Zihahaha. I was surprised to see you here, Vice Admiral Blaze. I thought you would be the main force to battle Whitebeard pirates. Blackbeard laughed. Glimpsing Blaze's lack of reaction, Blackbeard narrowed his eyes. I admit you are ridiculously strong, but you can't defeat us all.
At that moment, many people walked out of the level 6 floor. Aside from famous ones like Bullet, Redfield, and Brindy World, there are some familiar faces that Blaze personally captured.
About Blackbeard's warning, Blaze chuckled. Go back to your cell and lock yourself or die. And Blackbeard teach, you two pick a good cell for yourself and your crew. Zihahaha, looks like we can't leave without a fight.
Everyone, if you want to leave, kill him. He's strong, but if we work together we can win.
Blackbeard instigated the crowd. But no one took action.
Especially people who fought Blaze, they even took a step back.
Seeing this, Blackbeard's face turned ugly.
Just as he planned to ask his crew to attack together, someone stepped forward, Douglas Bullet.
Zihahaha, the demon heir is taking action. It saves me the trouble. I heard you are the strongest man in the world. After Roger's demise, even a young man like you got such a title. It's ridiculous. I trained all my life to become the strongest. After I defeat you, my next target is 4 emperors. Bullet uttered as he tore his prison shirt, flaunting his muscular, ripped physique.
His body exuded a monstrous battle aura as he grinned and dashed at Blaze. Coating his arm with armament hockey, Bullet let out a crazed laughter. Let me show you the strength that I achieved after training my hockey and body for 20 years. Nearing Blaze, he punched his fist. In response, Blaze simply stretched his left hand.
Bang!
A thunderous sound erupted with streaks of dark purple energy arcs flying everywhere. But Bullet's hockey-imbued fist remained 2 inches away from Blaze's palm without making any contact. An invisible hockey shield stopped him.
Impressive strength.
You are able to train your hockey and body to this level at Impel Down.
It's commendable. Blaze praised, sensing Bullet's intense hockey. It's at the level of admirals. But that's it.
Balling his fist, Blaze punched.
Boom. An overwhelming force struck Bullet in the face. The attack didn't make contact, but it sent him flying backwards. It's not a hockey, internal destruction, but Blaze used a concentrated hockey emission from his fist. It's similar to a normal hockey-coated attack but without making any contact. It exhibits his fine hockey control. As for Bullet, his figure knocked some of the level prisoners along the way and crashed into one of the faraway buildings. Chapter 238, One-Hit KO. With a bestial roar, Bullet emerged from the wrecked building. You are strong, but I will defeat you. At that same time, Blackbeard shouted. Zaya, you guys, if you want to get out of this place and live, now's the chance to show your skills. Bullet's move and Blackbeard's words stirred the 100-some level 6 prisoners. Being in prison for a long time, without sufficient food, and going through cruel tortures, they are not in the strongest state. It's also why they hesitated to fight Blaze. But now they decided to fight as they wanted to see the clear blue sky once again and taste the best wine and women. Yeah. Let's go and kill him. I had enough of fearing his strength. A pirate captured by Blaze before showed a demented expression and rushed forward. Ha ha, I'm going to enjoy drinking his blood. Damn that guards, they let me eat food but didn't give me any water. That girl looks good. She's mine. With crazy laughter and nasty faces, the prisoners rushed forward. Seeing the crazy crowd, even his head jailer, Domino, broke out in a sweat. She knew how crazy and strong these prisoners were, unlike other levels. Some of the comments made Kowina unsheath her sword. She emitted a strong aura and intent to kill. Regis stood behind Kowina with his arms crossed and a lively expression as if going to watch a good play. Well, since you guys want to fight as a group, so be it. It won't be nice if I play fair. Blaze once again sat in the throne-like crystal chair and commented. As he finished his sentence, 2 figures materialized out of thin air before everyone who was of similar appearance to Blaze. The sudden change shocked everyone. It's a Nen technique Blaze created recently, 50-50 clone. Blaze created this technique with Shadow Clone Jutsu in mind. The 2 clones have separate consciousnesses with their memory intact and retain 50% of their strength. Not just Nen, they own 50% of his everything like Nen, devil fruit powers, physical strength, and hockey.
This technique has harsh restrictions and vows. The significant one is that he can't use Nin during the time when the clones are called, not even a basic technique like 10. But it didn't limit his physical strength, hockey, and devil fruit powers.
It's the loophole and his advantage.
In fact, he wanted to create a 100% clone of his strength, but he couldn't do it even with strict Nin vows.
He didn't know why.
After his physique broke past the 100 bar limit and reached the half-god level, his Nun also underwent a major transformation.
Now, his Nun's stronger than even peak Maruam. Why do you look like me? Clone Blaze 1 asked. No. You look like me. You dare impersonate me? Clone Blaze 2 narrowed his eyes. You two, stop the bickering and take care of the opponents before you. Blaze commanded and mused, they do this every time, I have to do something about it. It damages my image.
His Nun clones are powerful, but they take some time to realize they are clones.
Oh.
It seems we are his clones. Both the clones came to the realization and shifted their attention to the rushing prisoners. It's rare to see people rush to their deaths. Clone 1 commented and pointed his finger at pirates, firing a laser beam similar to Kizaru but more deadly.
Boom! Splash!
A pirate's head exploded like a firework, scattering brain matters.
Within a second, nearly 10 prisoners lost their lives in a similar manner.
It has to be mentioned that most of the level 6 prisoners are masters in hockey.
It seems like fun. Let me try it too.
Clone 2 followed Clone 1's method. Blaze facepalmed and shook his head looking at their behavior, which is completely different from him. It can't be helped, they have their own thinking. As for how they can fire beams similar to Kizaru, it's because the sun emits light. He can use the power of light, but he can't elementalize like Kizaru. In a matter of seconds, the level 5 freezing hell was smeared with blood and brain matter. It was a striking contrast to the white vicinity. Aside from the Blackbeard group, only a few people remained alive: Bullet, World, Redfield, and 3 more whose name Blaze doesn't know. Blackbeard and his crew stood rooted on the spot with their backs drenched in sweat.
In the blink of an eye, nearly 100 people were killed.
Only now have they come to realize that they are standing before the world's strongest man. But the cunning Blackbeard couldn't conceal his greedy eye, he began to covet Blaze's devil fruit.
Zayaha, such power. It's better than shock fruit, but what fruit is it?
I haven't seen such a powerful fruit mentioned in the Devil Fruit Encyclopedia. Though greedy, he didn't shoot rashly and decided to wait for the opportunity. If not possible, it's better to follow the plan and attain shock fruit. Bullet, who recovered from the last strike, rushed towards Blaze oozing with a frightening battle aura, ignoring Blaze's 2 clones and head-exploding prisoners. This action of ignoring angered the clones. After all, they have their own will. Black energy rays sparkled around as the clones looked at one another. As Bullet neared Blaze, he coated his arms with hockey ready to strike, but the 2 Blaze appeared out of nowhere and punched his face at the same time. The strike was fast, precise, and decisive with no room to escape or block.
You made a mistake by targeting him. He may be original, but we are also named Blaze.
Black lightning sparked off their hands as the attack banged Bullet in the face. The 2 clones struck at the same time.
Bang!
The overbearing strike knocked Bullet and pounded him down to the ground, creating a massive crater.
It was a one-hit KO. Bullet lost consciousness with a deformed face. Chapter 239. Destroyed Blackbeard crew.
Looking at the senseless Bullet, whose life aura is hanging by a thread, everyone present gasped.
It's Demon Air Bullet they are talking about. They knew how strong he is.
Though being in Impel Down made him physically weak, it's not the reason for his defeat.
The opponent is ridiculously strong. A hit took down Bullet.
Among the level 6 prisoners who escaped, only Patrick Redfield and Burndy World remained standing aside from the Blackbeard group. Blaze glanced at Patrick Redfield and Burndy World. Both of them were old with their hockey severely weakened from their prime state. It made him lose interest. But Red wasn't intimidated by Blaze's show of strength. He doesn't know about the current world, but he believes in himself and his strength more than anything. After a long time, he finally got the opportunity to leave this place and he didn't want to miss it.
Everyone, it's time we make our move, Blackbeard commanded and signaled Lafitte with his eyes. Lafitte understands his captain's gesture, he wants him to create an opening. Against opponents like Blaze, they need to strike him with everything they have and end it as swiftly as possible. Since the opponent is a devil fruit user, they have a chance. Along with Blackbeard pirates, Red and Whirl joined the attack. They rushed forward with the intent to kill anyone in their way.
Blaze's clones looked at each other with a faint grin on their face and breathed in as their chest enlarged to the limit. After a second, they breathed out bluish-white flames. As they did it together and enhanced the flames with Haki, the intensity of the attack was far stronger than Kaido's beyond the lookout breath, at least 5 times.
SSSHHHHH. A sea of flames blazed forward.
The entire level -5 floor, freezing hell liquefied within seconds under the extreme temperature of the flames.
Such a large-scale destructive attack caught everyone off guard.
After all, Blaze clones were just playing with laser beams and Haki from the start. The sudden change somewhat stunned them.
Blaze-san, tell them not to go overboard. Otherwise, along with the impel down, we will sink to the bottom of the sea. Regis advised, hearing the impel down will burn to ashes. Why are you saying this to me? You know they have their own personality, right?
Blaze shrugged.
He didn't care about the impel down. A seawater isn't enough to kill him. Wolf you, protect us, Blackbeard shouted. San Juan Wolf, who was hiding behind a building till now, came out after Blackbeard's command and protected them with his body. But it was a bad idea. Boom! The Furcoyous flames collided against Wolf's colossal physique. Wolf protected the Blackbeard group, but his entire body torched in bluish-white flames. Since Blaze's flames are super hot, his giant body begins to burn and emits a roast smell. It seems like Wolf didn't know armament Haki since he didn't coat his body with Haki. Hot, 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 I couldn't douse the flames. Ah!
Wolf cried, rolling on the ground in pain. His actions quivered the very impel down.
Captain, do something or he will die. Lafitte said. Dark Vortex.
Blackbeard shouted while black mass naturalized from him and covered his hands.
When he touched Wolf's body, Blaze's flames were swallowed.
Though the flames were sucked, it didn't help much as Wolf's body was burnt heavily.
The latter lost consciousness, barely holding onto his life, thanks to the giant bloodline. Zihahaha, it's working. Now, I don't have to fear his flames. Blackbeard mused and conveyed loudly, we have a chance.
His words made their eyes gleam. It's also why they joined Blackbeard pirates, they want to subvert this world. For that, they need power. None of them cared about Wolf, who saved their life. Just a passing glance, it's the limit of their relationship.
Looks like I made the right bet. Shiryu remarked, smoking a cigar. Oi, you two, huh? What happened to Burndy World?
Blackbeard paused his order, noticing missing World.
Did he escape?
He was burned to ashes, Red responded. Unlike the Blackbeard group who fended the flames with San Juan Wolf's body, Redfield and World didn't have that luxury. They had used their Haki to block the flames. Pity, World's Haki is weakened considerably, so Blaze's flames carbonished him while his ashes fused into the world.
At that moment, Kuina reminded, Blaze-san, we are getting late. Yes. We have a war to attend. Can't miss the time. Blaze stood from the seat and stepped forward. Wait, don't call us off. At least, let us finish them off. Blaze's two clones shouted, trying to stop Blaze's action as if they knew what he was going to do.
You guys are wasting too much of my time. Blaze waved his hand while his clones faded into Nen particles and returned back to him. Looking at the old man Red, who had a gentlemanly demeanor, Blaze chuckled. Patrick Redfield, I heard you are a powerful pirate on par with Gold Roger and Whitebeard.
You are good, but your Haki disappoints me.
Even in old age, after being significantly weakened from senescence, he was able to withstand his attack.
It's remarkable. Nothing can be done about that. I age and get old with time. But, I am surprised someone as young as you remember me.
Red was genuinely surprised.
Okay. Let's start. Are you guys ready? Blaze snapped his fingers. Head jailer Domino blinked her eyes. Time slowed in her eyes as Blaze's figure faded into vapor and he reappeared before Red and punched with his fist imbued with armament haki, flowing Sakura. Red was able to react to extreme speed and used his hands to block, but it was for naught. Boom!
His body crashed into the wall of impel down, unknown of life and death.
At the same moment, Blaze's figure appeared before Burgess. He waved his left hand like a slap, but an overbearing haki flowed from his hand and swatted Burgess's head into red mist. Blaze's other hand fired laser beams that burned a hole in Avalo Pizarro, Q, and Vasco Shot's chest. Following that, Blaze's figure appeared before Lafitte and punched him in the gut while a flame sword materialized in his other hand. With a swing, Shirya's head and half-sword flew in the air. Unlike others, Shiryu reacted and parried the swing with his sword, but it was of no use. Blaze then took care of Van Auger and Katarina Devon with a haki arrow that pierced their head. Time began to flow normally while the after images of Blaze's body began to fade away while his true body appeared in front of Blackbeard Teach. At the same moment, Burgess's headless body swayed left and right before falling to the ground. Avalo Pizarro, Q, and Vasco Shot had a hole in their chest region with their heart destroyed. They too dropped to the ground with an audible thud. Lafitte's knees hit the ground while his hand clutched his stomach in excruciating pain. He was in a half-conscious state, struggling hard to breathe. Shirya's lopped head with a cigar blinked his eyes in confusion seeing his headless body drop to the ground as his life aura vanished. Katarina Devon and Van Auger's bodies hit the floor with a hole in their head, lifeless. "Why you, monster?" Blackbeard stuttered, trying to comprehend what just happened before his eyes. Chapter 240, Summit War. The fuck? Regis cursed internally, witnessing the overwhelming strength. How strong is Blaze-san? Is there anyone in the world who can be his opponent? What just happened? Domino had her mouth wide open in shock. Even Kawina, who had known Blaze for a long time, stood stunned. With a half-god level physique and haki attribute at 100, Blaze is practically invincible and unrivaled in the world of One Piece. Blackbeard. Blaze called him in a low tone, bringing the latter from a state of shock. Yami Yami no Mi is a strong devil fruit, but if you thought it's going to help you conquer the world then you are dead wrong. Hearing the words, Blackbeard clenched his hand. This monster, he even knew about my fruit. I have to take the risk or he will kill me like the others. Dark water black mass covered Blackbeard's hand. With a thought, it extended towards Blaze while the power of gravity activated and attempted to pull him. But, the power of gravity failed to pull Blaze. It surprised Blackbeard. What? Why isn't it working? His hand covered in black energy stretched, trying to grasp Blaze. But, it caught nothing as Blaze's figure appeared behind Blackbeard. You disappoint me, Blackbeard. Blaze's body exploded with fierce flames that blasted Blackbeard far away with his entire body torched in bluish-white flames. As soon as Blackbeard's body caught on fire, the power of darkness sprang up on its own and covered his entire body, devouring Blaze's flames. It saved Blackbeard from turning to ashes. Still, Blackbeard's skin region was scorched with blood oozing from multiple cracks that spread over his skin. The other party rolled on the ground in pain. Aha! Hot! 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 Before he could recover from the pain and get to his feet, a foot with overwhelming strength pressed him to the ground with no chance to rise. Blackbeard struggled desperately, he grasped Blaze's leg and activated his devil fruit power, but to his dismay, nothing happened. Why? Why? Why is he so strong? Blackbeard refused to accept this fate. He, Blackbeard, was born to conquer this sea. After so many years of waiting, he finally got the dark fruit and planned his rise to the top. But, everything fell apart because of this man. In the end, he was bound to the ground by another person's foot. This kind of humiliation, I won't accept it. Blackbeard roared while black flashes of lightning flared all over him. When his life is at the end and all doors closed, he awakens his conqueror's haki. It didn't surprise Blaze, but the other party burst with sudden strength and nearly succeeded in escaping from his grasp. As Blaze added strength to his feet, the floor of freezing hell expanded with cracks. As for Blackbeard, he felt some kind of majestic force shut his haki. As his aura and strength vanished, he was left with no option, so Blackbeard stopped his desperate struggle and looked Blaze in the eyes with hatred and unwillingness. His eyes radiated with the intent to kill. "I like the stare," Blaze commented and exerted power on his foot. Pow! Splat! Blackbeard's head mashed into meat paste while invisible haki shrouded Blaze, preventing blood splatter from dirtying his clothes. "Let's go, we have a war to attend." Blaze left with Kawina and Regis. As for Domino, she stood blankly staring at the blood-stained freezing hell. Marineford. A tense war atmosphere enveloped the entire island. The Marines know the battle with the Whitebeard pirates is coming. Reporters and cameramen from all over the world surged to watch the live broadcast in Sabaody and break the news all over the world. 50 Marine warships were arranged around the crescent-shaped bay while countless heavy cannons lined the shore. The tension continued to rise on Marineford as lookout ships sent by the Marines were destroyed by Whitebeard. After that, there has been no report on Whitebeard pirates. A staggering 100,000 elite Marine troops waited for the arrival of Whitebeard pirates while John Gant roused their fighting spirit. "No matter what happens, it'll only last 3 hours. Then it's all over." "Oh!" The Marine soldiers roared, each of them holding a gun, sword, or weapon of their choice. Aside from Jinbe and Blackbeard, the remaining warlords of the sea, Kuma, Moria, Doflamingo, Mihawk, and Boa Hancock, stood at the forefront. Watching over these forces are the Marines' greatest military strength, the 3 admirals, Kizaru, Akaino, and Akiji. Just the aura of admirals intimidated countless Marine soldiers. Looking at the Marine forces, people around the world wondered whether Whitebeard would come to the rescue. After all, he's old. With 3 hours left to the execution countdown, Portgas D.Ace was brought to the execution stand. Following him, Fleet Admiral Sengoku came to the execution stand and stood beside the kneeling Ace. "Give me the Den Den Mushi," Sengoku asked the soldier. "Yes, sir." A Marine soldier handed over the Den Den Mushi. "I have something to tell you all." Sengoku's firm voice resounded across the Marineford. "It is about the identity of Portgas D.Ace and the significance of the execution." Everyone listened attentively, but there was a touch of doubt on their faces. "Ace, tell them the name of your father." Sengoku spoke in a grave tone. "My father is Whitebeard." Ace responded in a firm voice. "No." Sengoku denied. "Yes, he is. Whitebeard is my only father." Ace yelled. Then, under everyone's incredible eyes, Sengoku's told a long-lost past. "Your father is the king of the pirates, Gold Roger." Sengoku finally revealed it. As soon as he uttered words, the Marineford and the whole world watching the broadcast fell into an odd silence. After a moment, everyone reacted. Firefist Ace is Roger's son. This is a huge news. The bloodline of the king of the pirates? It still exists. Everyone was so shocked by the news that they exclaimed one by one, with a look of horror on their faces. Some stood still with an unbelievable look. "Ace." Garp covered his head with a hand while his eyes were full of regret. "With your ability and bloodline, you have the potential to become the next king. That's why it's a great deal to execute you here today. Even if it's risking an all-out war with Whitebeard." Sengoku shouted firmly while 100,000 Marines roared hearing his passionate speech. At that moment, a Marine officer came over and reported to Sengoku. "Fleet Admiral Sengoku, I have something to report. The gate of justice opened without anyone's order. We couldn't contact anyone in the control room." "What?" Sengoku's face darkened. Meanwhile, the Marine soldier on the lookout shouted, seeing several black shadows of ships in the distance. "They are here." Hearing his shout, the alarm sounded in Marineford. They appeared suddenly. Where did they come from? Sengoku frowned, failing to locate Moby Dick. Where's Whitebeard?
At that moment, to everyone's surprise, Moby Dick and 3 other ships of Whitebeard emerged from underwater, appearing in the center of Marineford Bay. That wraps up this part of What If Transmigrated into one piece and became a marine.
Thanks so much for listening.
As always, new parts drop every 4 days, so be sure to stay tuned. Also check out my Patreon channel for early releases of all the series, where you can find all the series released one day ahead of YouTube. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, share it with your friends, and please consider supporting the original author as well.
See you in the next one.